Good morning. How y'all feeling out there? I'm Omi Bell, and I'm here with my co-host Takia Ross.
Good
How you
morning.
feeling this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like
Mm.
I'm watching all these posts about people starting companies or having these companies and they running these AI teams, and I'm trying to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to. I am also trying to figure out how can I run a team with just me and a bunch of AI folks. I am
Mm.
thinking about that, not for BGV, but for my company outside of BGV. I'm thinking
Mm.
about that because, and I'm thinking about how can I skip steps around some of this marketing stuff that's getting on my nerves. See what I'm
Oh,
saying? Because marketing, if marketing don't get on your nerves, you probably ain't doing it right. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gotta get on your nerves just a little bit because it gotta drive you in a way that's like, what was the marketing thing we needed to do? You know what I mean? Like it's a thing. And so I feel like
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get into this whole like AI situation and how we're gonna do it. How we're gonna run a team. How we're gonna build a $10 million company with no team.
Well, I've heard that it has been done.
I've
I have
also heard
heard
it has been
that
done.
it has been done. So, and if it was ever to be done again, I'm sure that you will find a way. You're prime. You're ripe to be able to do it. Yes.
If look, a friend of mine, she passed away now. Shout out to Kay. She used to say about money. She used to say, if they gonna give somebody money, it might as well be us. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
that's how I've taken that into because the money gonna be out there
Yes.
and they gonna give it to somebody.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if they're gonna give somebody money, guess who it might as well be?
Might as well be us. You know what I mean? That's what
Might as
I'm
well be
thinking.
one of us. So
Or
this is
all of
every
us.
I want to spread it out there. I want to throw it out to everybody. If somebody's giving money to somebody, guess what? It might as well be you. So it is worth it for you to figure out what these folk buying, what these folk ain't buying.
Yeah.
What you know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
hold on to, people be trying to hold on. I get it. We build these companies, we want to hold on to like every part of it that we created.
Yes.
And I get that. Well, I do to a certain extent because I've been the kind of person that after a while I gotta pivot. If it ain't working, the money ain't rolling. I don't I'm out. Now not with BGV, you know what I mean? Because what I did with BGV was I built something where I could do multiple things under it and still create impacts. For a long time it was just feeding all the parts of what I saw myself doing, right? Other than being for profit. That part we need to figure out, but go back to or fix up. But other than being for profit, literally, I can create impact. I can travel. I can, build a team. I can help paying people support their lives. I can learn to be. I can evolve as a leader, and I think those things are things that I want in my life.
Mm. I love that. I love that for you. I do. I absolutely do. I
And
had
cause
I didn't know I was going to be an entrepreneur, so I had no I hadn't wrapped my head around what it looked like until I was fully in it.
I don't know that I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur, but I knew that I was not feeling good in any job. Meaning like, not what I mean by feeling good is it always got to a point. Like I would
Mm.
get the job and I would
Mhm.
get to a leadership level. And then I'd be like, I'm done. Like, what am I doing here? Then I start having like, I don't even feel like I don't feel like, what is this? What
Yeah.
is this? Yes. Okay. I was just getting to the like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in here no more. Like, it ain't even shiny no more. Like, and I don't know. I would get like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get that dog. That dog is messing with my sound equipment. Hold on.
Omi has a new fur baby in the family, and she's new. She's a new baby. She trying to get her life together, and she not quite sure what to do. All of this is exciting. You know what I mean? Everything about this
Yeah, now
world is
she
just
knows she ain't supposed to be bad. These dogs are smart. You see what I'm saying? These dogs are not stupid at all. She know that she's supposed to be over there messing with that sound equipment, but she also know that I'm on right here. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
I'm trying to move from right here, but for so much
yes.
roaming and doing whatever. You see what I'm
I,
saying? Like,
listen, that's why I had to let the people know. We all know what happens when when our new fur babies, you know, when they once they start the roaming, you out.
yeah,
You
it is. And
once they
they know what be happening, doesn't it?
oh
So
they
anyway,
excited.
we gotta bring our first guest though, because
Okay,
we just up here,
okay,
we just opening the show. You
okay.
know what I'm saying? We gotta bring the people into it. We gotta let the
I'm
people
so
know.
grateful that you be so responsible because I be irresponsible.
No. I am a radio show host. You know what I'm saying? I'm a show host. This is what I do. It's in my brain. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
It's in
goodness.
my brain to transition topics. It's in my brain to watch the time. It's in my brain. I remember this started way back. Oh no, do y'all remember Blog Talk Radio?
Mm.
This was way back. I'm talking about 2010.
Okay.
Okay. That's where I started doing radio on Blog Talk Radio. Nobody could see you. You just get on, you be talking. I think they still got some of it, but like it was a really great idea because anybody could start their own show. So it started there, but then I really learned it from shout out to Alfred Duncan, Black from Mambo Sauce, but he goes by Alfred now for years. But I he had a radio show. Him and what's Eddie's last name? The comedian Eddie Lord. I hope Eddie don't see this because I cannot remember his last name in this moment. But Eddie was my homie. And then Black and Lord have mercy, I'm forgetting everybody's name, but he used to host an open mic called Up and Up. And I was on the poetry scene. So anyway, long story short, when I learned how to run a show, honestly, and I don't even know if he knows this, but I learned how to run a show because of him. When I first got on their show, because he had been doing like radio, because he used to do the when the team was called the Redskins, he used to do the songs that they used to play,
Mm.
the Redskins songs that they used to play on the radio. And he was plugged into radio. And so because he's a musician. But then the first they had a podcast called Bubble Guts Radio. I don't know why they needed it. It was supposed to be a joke, but also, yeah. So anyway, so that's how I saw how to break a show down. Like I
Mm.
saw like he had like by the minute, things like that. That's how I learned that.
Oh, well, that's good. Shout out to Alfred Duncan, Black
Yeah,
and
shout out
Mambo
to him.
Sauce and the team over
Also,
there.
one of those, the casualty in the story of entrepreneurship. That's one of those friends that I lost. That I was friends with for years. You know, hire your friends, things don't work out. Shout out to him still though. You know what I'm saying? Like, no harm, no foul on my end. Like, shout out to him. I still think what we did was what we need to do. And that's just how life goes. You know what I'm saying? But I can also say that that's what I learned from him, how to run a radio show. And then it just evolved from there because actually, yeah, because I had a show, but in terms of like running it for real, I learned that through working with them deeper. I had learned it somewhat because even on Blog Talk, you had to manage the time. But when you learn that, now it's a skill. So now it's just in me. So
Mm.
now what people don't know too when they see these shows is that like in my brain, I'm just running the whole show in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being like, okay, we need to transition these people. Okay, we need to see this. Okay, boom. Person in the eye. Okay, got it. What do you do? Okay, when you look over here, say good morning. When you look at like that, you know what? That's the thing about being an entrepreneur is that I think that people often I'm gonna say that first of all, F all of the silent letters. Okay. I'm gonna say often. I'm gonna say salmon if I want to, if I feel like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So anyway, sorry, just had to say that.
Okay.
Often people don't understand that entrepreneurs, you might look at a leader and be like, oh, they got a team. But the level, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, a leader of a large nonprofit. We and her were talking, and people don't know everything you got to hold in your mind. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like you're in your body, you're holding so much of what's happening.
Yes.
Even though there's other people and they like doing a thing and they, your team or whatever, you are literally like your body is holding the whole room and the whole space. I mean, I was using stretching from like I'm holding the show, like I'm moving it. Like, okay, this, in entrepreneurship, we're doing that all the time and nobody can see it.
Mm, I agree. I agree. Most of the time,
Nobody can see it.
you have to know how you, and even if you don't know everything, you know a little bit about what everybody's doing. So if you have a team, it's like you know, like I might not know all of it, but I know, I'm holding enough about it where I know what you're doing, how it should be done, what the next steps are. And so that's something I absolutely agree with that. Like you're always thinking about that.
Always. Speaking of things that you're holding, our guest for today
Mm.
is Tiana Trinidad. She's a registered nurse, and she got some other letters here that I don't know if I know. RN, BSN, and MHA. I'm gonna put those out there because I want to make sure she gets some respect on her name, even though
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what all those acronyms are. You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
but listen, what I'm trying to tell y'all is she did the work. She knows what she's talking about. She is a PCOS fertility coach and founder of Love Served Warm, who helps high achieving women with PCOS understand their cycles, restore ovulation, advocate for better care, and prepare their bodies for pregnancy. I love this because she's working on a fertility training to support pathways for women with PCOS who are tired of being dismissed, over supplemented, and told to just lose weight while pregnant. This is so she wants to help people understand their cycles. This is what she's doing, but she's launching a fertility training, which I think is so key right now, especially because people are waiting to have children later, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're making different decisions about our bodies than we made, I think, early on. And we're seeing it as a trend across the board. I think the science is wrong on who can have a child and who can't. That's me. Okay.
Mm.
Kind of, y'all can debate me, but I think the science is wrong on that with women's bodies. I think we can't have babies way older than they say we can. And I think that, they don't even know shit about our bodies. You see what I'm saying? How y'all telling me that I can and cannot do something? Y'all don't even study me deeply when a lot of your research is based off of male bodies.
Yeah,
So and we're
that's what
learning
we
that
want.
as perimenopause becomes a more hot topic, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
learning that there's ways that they haven't even studied what we're holding. They haven't
Yeah.
even studied parts of us. So without further ado, come to the stage, Tiana Trinidad. How you feeling?
Oh, this is so good. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we excited to have this conversation because we're both moms,
Mm-hmm.
and both have. I would say, I mean, I don't know the kids' life like that. I don't know
Mm.
if you've been doing. I know some of your life, but I don't know this part. I know I've had friends who have had challenges with fertility,
Yes.
and moved through multiple layers of like what that looks like, and
Mhm.
everything from figuring out like acupuncture and Eastern medicine ways of leaning into it,
Mhm.
and figuring out like what are their bodies saying to them. And so I think that's one of the important parts about this kind of conversation. Let's take a step back. First of all, can you help me with all the acronyms? What is a BSN and what is the MHL?
Absolutely. So I have my bachelor's in nursing, and then my
Okay.
master's. I After being a nurse for some time, I felt like the healthcare system was broken, and so I thought that in my own world that I was going to go to do my master's in medical health law with a concentration in legal regulatory compliance, and I was
Oh,
going to go save women like me who were struggling with fertility. But what I learned in law school was that the healthcare system is created to function just as it's functioned as a well-oiled machine that puts profit first.
oh,
And I was really heartbroken to go through that graduate's degree and learn that this is the reason why we don't have universal health care. It's because things are functioning just as they are supposed to function, with
wow.
people second and profit first, right? And so those what those jumbo letters are behind my name. I've
Oh,
been a registered nurse for a little over 15 years, specializing in labor delivery, perinatal ER, and NICU.
That's something. I'm it's so wild because yesterday I made a post, Tiana, okay? Because me and my good girlfriends was on social media and I was trying to figure out what vitamins, right? Like what vitamins are all of my good girlfriends taking because I'm not trying to have children at this time. But I still want to have like an amazing working vibrant body, and so it is just amazing that I got so many DMs from women who are just like, well, make sure you post because I don't know either. Like make sure you share because I don't know either. And I'm realizing that about every part of our journey, that like we just go through it. We don't know why, we don't know what, we don't know. And so are you seeing that same kind of thing with women who are suffering from infertility, and challenges with their journey with having children?
Absolutely. And if I can be like 100% honest, I feel like women are struggling at a rate that we haven't seen before previously, right? So there are businesses profiting like IVF, right? There's a pipeline directly to IVF. And so women are in a very predatory space where everyone is an influencer, everyone has a degree, and everyone is out to sell something on TikTok. Everyone has says something changes their lives. And so when I am looking at a brand that I want to work with or a brand that I'm recommending, or even recommending to my community a brand that they want to look for when it comes to multivitamins, the first thing I want to let them know is that a supplement is meant to supplement a healthy diet. So let's go into it with that idea first, right? Is that it's meant to bridge the gaps in between our diet. So what I'm eating and what my homegirl is eating, right? We're going to need two different supplementations based on the nutrient deficiencies in our diet. That's the first part. The second part is I feel like the front of the label is for entertainment and the back of the label is for education. Right. So I don't care how many TikTok influencers you can afford. I care, do you have third party testing? Has this gone through clinical trials? Has this been verified by a third party that the claims that you are making are factually true? Right? If you say 90% of women have experienced an improvement in symptoms, do you have those claims? And if you guys will allow me a moment to plug a female and Black owned brand of a multivitamin, I would love to recommend one of the ones that I currently work with, right, which is my Happy Flow, who has undergone the third party testing. She was a gossip celebrity blogger, and she
XO
got a
Nicole. I
dream,
mean,
and she
she don't go
turned
by
this
XO
whole thing
Nicole no
into
more,
the
but
menstrual cycle, and she
XO.
does amazing in this space, right? But just to say that that supplement, my Happy Flow, it has most of the nutrients that
Can
women
y'all hear
with
me?
hormonal imbalances would
Can you hear
need,
me?
and also third party
I don't know if she can
verified
hear
and
me.
third party tested. And I think that's so
Tiana, can
important when
you
we're
hear
looking at
me?
supplementations.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Did you guys lose my sound?
We can hear you, but can
You
you
can
hear
hear
us?
me? I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I think she can't hear me.
Mm.
You.
Wait,
There
let's
we
see.
go.
Oh, it came back.
You guys were like breaking up. Like I heard you and then
Yeah, can you
I
hear us now?
apologize.
Can you hear us now?
I'm unable to
No.
hear anything.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't
go
hear
out and
us.
come
I
back
can
because
hear
I
you
can hear you.
now. I can hear you,
You
Mrs.
can
Ross.
hear me.
I can
Okay.
only hear you. I cannot hear Mrs.
Oh,
Omni Bell.
Okay, so she can't hear
oh,
you on me.
that's so strange. All right, let me see. I'm gonna try to go out and come back. Let's see.
Okay. So
I said,
only
wait, I said I'm gonna go out and come back, and I took you out. Hold up.
Tiana, it's nothing. It's well, Omi has an amazing new puppy, and
Okay.
she was over there playing with the sound equipment.
I
Okay,
love
just
that.
Tiana,
Okay,
just
can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No, 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 not my sound equipment on here. My I'm a sound healer. And so I have instruments on my in my living room. So I have like sound bowls and chimes and a rain stick and ocean drum and things like that. So I have all those things in my living room. And she knows not to mess with them. But yeah, anyway.
oh,
And
okay,
so yeah,
because I
yeah,
was
yeah. But
like,
that
I
yeah,
said,
no, no, no,
Tiana,
not this sound
I
equipment. No,
said the
no.
puppy been messing with the sound all morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, she messing with my instruments. But sorry about that. Okay, we back. Um, you were talking about My Happy Flow, XO Nicole, or now she doesn't go by XO Nicole anymore. She sold that brand.
Yes.
She goes by Nicole. Thank you for saying that because thank you for one plugging her and thank you for sharing that she has tested because I wasn't aware of that depth. And I think that, we talk about entrepreneurship on the show. So one of the things I want people to do is go look her up and go actually, actively buy from her, right? Because she's also been very transparent about her business and about what she's going through in terms of like keeping the business going and things like that. And I think that when we find things that have been tested, that we can have a nurse recommending for real, not like oh yeah, dentist recommend, right? Like, but like no, we have a real live studied practitioner, like we have somebody really who knows what they're talking about here saying, hey, this is one to try. And we don't often, number one, get that direct conversation with the professional, right? Unless it's your own doctor who a lot of times doesn't know about some of the small business things that are happening, where to even be able to recommend a happy flow, right? Like, or sometimes if your doctor is not in a depth of cultural nuances or cultural competence, your doctor's not, they're thinking only about the like large industry like things that go sell to them for real. Like all these drug people who send reps to sell to the doctors are the only people that they're thinking about. So I'm so glad that you mentioned Happy Flow, and I want to point everybody to going to check her out. Because one, she's been in this business game for a long time in different ways. Like you said, she was a gossip blogger. She started different brands and she landed on Happy Flow. And so I'm happy to hear you talk about it being proven because a lot of times we're just out here not knowing.
And I think,
Absolutely. And you
oh,
guys can use code Love Served Warm for like 15% off. If that cushions the cost a little bit,
Oh,
but
you
it's
better plug it. Okay, so
absolutely.
I love that. Yes.
I think I guess my one of my questions. I have multiple questions because this really hits home for me,
Mhm.
Tiana, because I do have family who suffer from PCOS, and I have family who were unable, right, to have children, and nobody seems to know why, right? It's just kind of like we don't know why. But when you brought up the supplement, I'm going to start there, right? A lot of times, again, I think we are marketed products, right? And the consumer has no clue, right, that these products are not tested or verified or, like, because it's just like when you do hear, dentist approved or, nurses say this, is like, you're like, oh, okay, so this is good. Nurses say and dentists
Hmm.
say and
Hmm.
that sort of thing.
Hmm.
So, Tiana, well, first, I wanted to ask, what, as we think about our healthcare journey, because
Mhm.
a part of it is us taking it into our own hands, what should we be looking for as it relates to, like supplements and, alternative care and things that we can do at home when someone is recommending? What should we be looking for?
I think the first thing that we need to be looking for is not looking for something else, but like looking more so within. And I'm not trying to be like cliche, but understanding that the womb is like a functioning organ of our intuition, of our emotions, of our hormones, right? And a lot of times I find that women like us, we are often operating in our masculine energy. We are often like go go go, do, and very little have very little time left over to take care of ourselves, to really focus on our intuition. I feel like at the end of the day, if we tune in, we understand what's abnormal. We know we have an inkling, but we allow our healthcare system to convince us that things that are commonly described as common are normal because such a large amount of women suffer from it, right? We all have an auntie who maybe couldn't have babies or had one baby and then didn't have another baby after, right? And we really don't know. We don't talk about it. We all struggle with these issues of hormonal imbalances, which in my opinion are the natural consequence of our capitalistic society. And that's why the push for us to build that intuition, for us to understand exactly what is our body experiencing, is not there. And there is this push for us to um, kind of delegate our intuition to these physicians in white coats who don't look like us, who don't understand the cultural norms of a woman of color, and it becomes a very predatory system, where there are not enough women that look like us who are experienced in our daily issues supporting us and advocating for us, right? So the first thing I want to say is like tune in, right? What is your intuition saying? Do you feel like something's off? Do you feel like one of your hormones are off? Do you feel like your doctor is convincing you that something is normal, but it's not? And that's the place that we begin, right? The conversation begins at home. It begins with your intuition. It begins with you creating a clear understanding of what is abnormal, what doesn't feel right in your system. And then the second step, I feel like before you even go to a practitioner, is doing your own research, right? Trying to understand what do those collection of symptoms mean, right? What nutrient deficiencies, what are the natural alternatives that we can do, right? And be honest with yourself and where you are and where you want to be, right? I feel like that's the biggest issue that I see is that women are often focused on the end result and not the systems that get us to where we are and where we want to be, right? And so we know we have to lose weight, but what does that look like for a woman of color, who has a diet who is like maybe not as nutrient dense as it needs to be, right? I feel like when we bring the question back within, oftentimes we know that we've got to eat better, we've got to move better, we've got to have better stress management, we've got to build better communities. Oftentimes we know what the issue is. We just don't have the resources to work through them.
Mm,
Thank you so much for sharing that because it's so funny. I was just telling, I think you were in the weight room when I was saying this, that like when I have a decision to make and I feel like I need to do this thing, like, and I finally do it, I feel so much better. I think that speaking to, you said delegating intuition, I like that language because I think like a lot of times you know things that are beyond you like beyond what you're processing mentally, but you kind of just know, you're like, oh man, like that didn't feel good, but I'm supposed to eat kale, right? You know what I mean? But it's like, but it doesn't feel good to me, so like my body doesn't feel good after I eat it, but it's healthy though, right? Like, well, don't eat it, you know what I mean? I think like, and a lot of times we go, I'm tripping, let me, no, that doctor said that, but like it's the doctor, you know, that nurse said that, but it's in there. And it's like, actually, no. Like, if you, this is what somebody told me that's been super powerful, a psychic reader friend of mine. She said, if you are feeling something, there's something to be felt. If you're feeling
okay.
something, there's something to be felt. So don't just override that. Oh, but it's fine. It's like, no. If you felt it, because if it was nothing, you wouldn't have felt it. If it was
We
gonna miss you, it wouldn't have came. If you like, if it came to you though, right? If it came, it's okay to visit it, especially when you start. There's like, this is the thing about intuition. When you know it's intuition, okay, this is a whole total. I can go off on a tangent about this, but I'm gonna try to stay focused. There's this school in London that teaches all spiritual things. I gotta go there. I feel like in my mind it's like Hogwarts. You know what I mean? But there's this class I'm taking on Monday that's about like how to know when it's like your like spirit talking to you versus like you thinking you're tripping, right? Like how to know that. How do you know that, right? And bringing it to like this idea of intuition, we get into these places where we're like, but is it my intuition or am I
Mm.
tripping? Is it my
Queen
or am I?
Alpha,
You know, we're
Queen
like, is it?
Alpha. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead, go
Queen
ahead.
Alpha talks a lot about that in her book, her very famous book, which I believe
Are you
it's
talking
called
about Queen
Sacred
of Four?
Femininity.
Queen of Four? Is that what you said?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sacred femininity. It's crazy how we believe in Wi-Fi, even though we can't see it, but we don't believe in our intuition because we can't see it.
Oh,
And
that's
I
a
believe,
good one.
right? And I believe that's
That's
where
a
the
good
issues
one.
in the womb begin. Right. It's usually we start to, I believe that a lot of the hormonal issues that we experience are in they are related to to the things that we're doing, right? Like we are experiencing hormonal consequences of things that we do physically. Like I feel like a lot of women with PCOS struggle operating in their masculine energy, right? They're a go 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 do for everyone else, and very little stress management, very little community and support, and as a result their male hormones are increased. As a result, their womb has polycystic ovaries as a result of having increased levels of testosterone, right? I feel like,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's a little juju and we don't talk about it, but when we look back and we say, are you overwhelmed? Have you, I even ask my clients sometimes, are you an angry Black woman? Are you just not ovulating? Right? Because we know that ovulation is necessary
Mm.
for you to be calm and feel good, right? And when you don't ovulate, you don't have those hormones that make you feel calm and make you feel good. So maybe you are more moody. Maybe you have more emotional outbursts of rage, right? Because your hormones is messed up and you don't ovulate. You don't have the hormone that keeps you grounded. I mean, it's so deep. It's
It's so
so deep.
deep. I think this is interesting. I love what you say. Are you an angry Black woman? Or are you just not ovulating? Like, and I like that. I like that. Right. And this gets deep because we can talk about historical factors, right? How there hasn't been space for us to, how there's been an how there's been an intentional effort from our oppressors for us not to be
Yeah.
able
And it's
to
still here
be,
present today with the
and there
lack of
you go.
education.
There you go.
Sometimes I feel like police are to Black men what doctors are to women of color. You know, they
Ooh.
silence us. They use pharmacology as like a form of handcuffs, right? Because they prescribe you birth control, which silences all of your symptoms. And then when you go to have a baby, you realize that your reproduction system has been on snooze, right? And it's like, wait a
Mm.
minute, you didn't tell me that when you put me on it, right? And it's like, if this was a documented, known side effects of the birth control and you just didn't fail to tell me, then we've got an issue. When this is the experience of multiple women, right? It becomes a situation of is is this really a mistake? You know, is this or is this an
Mm.
intentional gap in our system where you're intentionally failing to educate women on the long-term side effects of birth control, because then the rate of usage would dwindle.
And that's really, I thank you for saying that, Tiana, because a lot of us were put on birth control very early on, like very early in our reproductive cycles. And many Black women came on their cycles way early, right? And I happen to be one of those, Black women who, started having her cycle, at 8 years old, right? So it was just like, it was so early, and before I was even sexually active, birth control was on the table. Like it was just like, and now we need to put her on birth control. And it's like you don't even know at such a young age, like you're taking what they're telling you to take. Like, like it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
take this pill, or oh, get on this depot. Oh, get that 5 year thing. I remember when I was growing up, it was the 5 year implant, that everybody was getting. And I'm blessed that I have been able to have children, naturally and that sort of thing. But I never thought about the impact of that on like my good friends or people who were not able to, right?
And
Who, go ahead.
and maybe you were still impacted, right? Maybe you've been impacted in ways that you haven't been able to put a label on because you just didn't have the information necessary to put a label on your experience, right? Maybe, and
Mm.
I'm not calling you out to be specific, but maybe we struggled with a little bit of anxiety and depression. Maybe we've had some trouble controlling our temper, right? The effects of birth control, women can take up to 10 years to recover from the long-term effects of birth control. That can look like mental health issues. That can look like inability to control your weight, right? Both, right? There's women with lean PCOS who struggle to just maintain their weight. There's women who are overweight with PCOS who struggle to maintain their weight, right? There really hasn't been sufficient research on the long-term effects of these synthetic hormones on women with PCOS, right? On specifically um, on the diverse population of women with PCOS, right? Because we understand even within PCOS that the symptoms look different amongst women of color and our counterparts, right? We understand that women of color are more likely to suffer from symptoms like hirsutism, right? You're more likely to see a woman of color have a full beard. You don't see that in our counterparts, right? So more research has to be studied on how PCOS affects ethnicities, right? And different cultures separately based on their lifestyle, based on how the way that they eat, based on the behaviors that are exclusive to those communities.
And I'm
So
sorry,
one
D.
of the
Oh,
things, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to, because a lot of us, we hear it. We don't know what PCOS is. Like if you're not,
It's funny you said it because I just was like, let me, and it's actually a new name for it.
yeah, like,
So like now they've even moved away, they've renamed it. But go ahead, I'll get into that in a second.
To create more confusion.
so can
Go
you tell
ahead.
us what PCOS is, like, for us women who, may not understand or know or suffer from,
Absolutely. So PCOS is a collection of hormonal imbalances, right? They can be unique to the woman experiencing them. However, they created a criteria, and women need two out of the three of the criteria to get a diagnosis, which is increased male androgen, so increased levels of male hormones, an irregular cycle, and or polycystic ovaries confirmed by an ultrasound. Now you just need two out of three. So if you have an irregular period and you've got some signs and symptoms of increased male androgens, you technically qualify for a diagnosis. However, because there is so little research funding going into PCOS, the physicians don't have enough education and information to make the decisions and to make informed decision about PCOS. So therefore, research suggests that about 50% of women with PCOS are undiagnosed, and women can take an average of 5 years and go to 5 different physicians before they finally get the diagnosis.
mm,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So the just this is just a general Google search. So this is not me combating anything that our registered nurse here is saying. But I was mentioning that they've renamed it. So PCOS, and let's just saying what the actual letters stand for, polycystic ovary
Mhm,
syndrome. They have renamed it to polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome,
mhm,
PMOS.
mhm,
And similar to in exact for the exact reasons around like what she was just saying, which is they're saying that the change was made to reflect the condition as a
mhm.
systematic whole body endocrine disorder rather than just about ovarian cysts. So
Correct.
in the beginning of all of this, and again, I think I said this yesterday, but a friend of mine, Melody Narain Blackwell, she always reminds me that, like, hey, remember that doctors are practicing medicine. So like they are still constantly in discovery. And
Yeah,
that's the kicker about having the sort of not using your intuition, right? Like it's
correct.
understanding that this is all practice, and the more
Correct.
people that they practice on, and it ain't necessarily. I'm not saying practice in a bad way, but I'm just
Mhm,
saying like just know that science or the definitions of it all is always evolving, and then you
mhm,
got capitalism evolved. I mean, you got capitalism involved, and in
mhm,
that case, it's also evolving according to what's capitalistic. So it's like it's not even
mhm,
always evolving because it needs to evolve for the science and the understanding of it. The danger in cutting research funding is that those who do care about the science of it get cut out versus those who can afford to keep researching for the capitalistic nature of it all can continue to
Mhm.
do that because they continue to focus on making money. But those who really do want to understand our bodies, a lot of times are getting cut out because when that research funding gets cut. So, that's
Yeah.
also a note on getting to the polls. Okay.
Yeah. And
Um,
one more thing I'll say before I have to go and get ready for a call is that while I do agree with the name PMOS, because I believe that the previous name made women believe that if they didn't have polycystic ovaries and an ultrasound, that they didn't deserve the diagnosis. And the polycystic ovaries can come and go, right? And they're not necessary for diagnosis. So I do agree with the name change. I just believe that all of the money that went into the marketing and the renaming could have gone into better advocacy, better research, paid maternity leave, just different rights that we needed. And I believe that when we're in a place where women still don't even know what PCOS, don't even know their source of infertility, for us to create a name change when women are still struggling to get the diagnosis just creates a kink and a already tumultuous system, right?
Oh,
And
they
I
didn't create a name change for us. They created a name change for them. They created a name change so they could not look like they made a mistake. They created a name change so they could reshape the drugs that they're going to give you. They renamed it so they can broaden up big pharma's access to. Like they didn't rename it because it would make sense to any patient. You know what I mean? They renamed it for themselves because the medical community, the science community, they made a mistake. We got to correct that. We got to correct that with a new name. Just like the same thing happens in like when they make mistakes about planets, when they make mistakes, like it's just like the science community does not like the idea that somebody finds out that they made a mistake, and then that falls right into the capitalism of it all because then the agreement from big pharma is like, oh, y'all made a mistake, perfect, we can broaden up the level of drugs we can assign to this now because this whole body endocrine system, like, it's just terrible.
well,
But thank you
I've
so
got to
much for
get.
joining us. Yes, thank you so
Thank you
much for
so
joining
much.
us
I
and
I
opening
just
up
wanted
this
to say thank you
conversation. We
for
appreciate
this.
you.
And thank you for this opportunity. I'm a big fan. I appreciate this opportunity and just the experience to be able to talk on something that I'm extremely passionate about.
Love served warm. Is that, and did they just go to loveservedwarm.com?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Loveservedwarm.com. So y'all check out the trainings and things she has coming up. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Tiana. We
Thank
appreciate you.
you,
Have a good
Yana.
rest of your
Thank
day.
you for having me. Have a beautiful day.
You
All
too.
right.
Thank you.
This is just such a great conversation for us to be having, right? Like this conversation needs to be brought to as many platforms as we possibly
Yeah.
can bring it,
Hmm.
right?
I agree.
To be
I
honest,
agree.
I'd rather be, yeah, go ahead.
No, I just was saying I agree. Like I absolutely agree with it. It's so much information that we don't know, so much misinformation that is out there. And I'm so grateful that we are starting to have more in-depth conversations about really what's happening to our bodies, our experiences as women of color, what we're dealing with as we go to the doctors. Because it wasn't until, don't laugh, until Tabitha Brown was out there talking about perimenopause, right? And her going through menopause that it became like, to me in my world, right? It may have been prevalent in other people's world, but to me in my world, that I was just kind of like, huh, what you talking about, girl? You know what I mean? What's going on? Like, and it was her taking us through her journey in a lighthearted, fun, loving way that made us to start looking like, oh my goodness, is it? Like, am I going through perimenopause? Like, am I at that age? Like, is that what I was dealing with? And I think me and you had talked about it because, like, I had started to be diagnosed with all kinds of things because I was having like joint issues, right? My joints were like lit up like hot fire, right? My knees, my hands, my shoulders. And I was going in and baby, they diagnosed me with everything but loose. You know what I mean? Like they took, baby, I had it all. And I just kept asking, could this be perimenopause? Like it could this be something? And literally I mean, they had me going to everybody. I was going to the rheumatologist, you know what I mean? Every ologist I was going to see. And I'm just like, can you just look at my hormones? Like, can we run a panel to see if I'm in some kind of hormonal deficit? And my primary care physician would not. like would not. And I'm just kind of like, why
What?
would not on me?
And
Would
they don't,
not.
and then they don't know, because I was asking my doctor, I was like, well, what kind of test can I take to figure out like what's going on with my hormones? She's like, really, there's none. Like if you feel like you're perimenopause, you are. What? If I feel like it, I am. She's like, well, yeah, if you're experiencing the symptoms, then you are. Like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, what do you mean? So like, y'all don't
And
have
I,
no way of testing whether or not because technically in their minds, anything before, like, hell, Skylar's 11, she perimenopause is before menopause. You know what I mean? Like, they're
I
not
mean, it's
bringing
just,
this into view.
yeah, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And then too, like when you do get, and I don't know if this is anybody else's lived experience, but I'm just sharing mine. But like when I was getting like all of my blood work done, and that sort of thing, they put it in these different like my charts and all of this thing, and you can go and you can look at it. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know how to read a blood work panel. Like, how, like, when are you gonna call me? Like, so I'm literally going through the blood work panel, my own self, like typing it in, to like, what is this? What does this mean? And then I'm calling the doctor, like, hey, it says that I have anemia. You know what I mean? That says that this might be mean my iron is low. And she's like, well, where did you get that from? Well, it was from, you put the panel into my chart and left me out here hanging to figure out what was wrong with me, because nobody calls. Like, it's just like, it's in my chart. Well, baby, I don't know how to read this. Like, what does it mean?
So that's interesting. Okay. So I was exaggerating when I said Skylar's 11 and I was exaggerating. So I want to be clear. I was exaggerating. Perimenopause is a certain phase. They're around 30s and 40s. Can start as early as your 30s, leading into up to menopause. I was exaggerating. It was a joke. But that's crazy. So when you look in your my chart, so when I go to the doctor here, interestingly enough, see, all systems are not created equal, right? Because I was in the INOVA system, and I want to say they did it there too, but then my doctor wasn't on my chart either. So then there's that. So then she'll be like, I'll just call you if something wrong. You know what I mean? So then I do the blood work. They be like, hey, you need some iron pills. The doctor prescribed them, like that. But they don't tell you nothing else. So I was taking iron pills, just taking them. I've been taking iron pills I've been here a year. So I literally been taking them since I got here every day. And every day, because they say, oh, you're anemic. And then I just did blood work for my physical for this year. And she's like, stop taking all iron supplements. Like, your iron is like almost too high. And I'm like, okay. But when I get the results in my chart, it'll say, here is your reading, your level. And it'll say, this means we don't need to do anything. This means we need to watch this. This means, and that is UCLA and Cedars-Sinai. So Cedars-Sinai is also like one of the top hospital systems in the country. But UCLA, both of those, UCLA, I don't know where they are on the chart, but I know Cedars-Sinai is like up there. Both of them in the my chart, it tells you this is what it means. We need to do something, or we don't need to do something.
Mine doesn't. It gives you the lab results, and it gives you the numbers that, you know what I mean? Like, this was your range, and it'll tell you what the normal range is. But, but it's just like, it doesn't tell you what that means for you, right? This
right.
And so you're left to kind of try to figure out, like, okay, if this is the range and I am above it, below it, within it, right? Like, what does that mean? Right. And so, and that was something I was dealing with. And then too, like, I don't know if anybody else deals with this, but my insurance, my primary care person just keeps coming in and out of like, I get a new one all the time. I've never seen anything like it. Like, it's just like, I might have one doctor for a year, and then the next year is just like, so-and-so has left the practice, and now you've been assigned to blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so I'm starting over every year, trying to explain to a new doctor, right? Like, what is going on with me? what I've been feeling, advocating for myself, and then the process starts all over again. And so I think that that's another thing. Like, and I'm sure that there are healthcare situations and, doctors have their own and you can move and find different practices. I get it. But as a patient, that like it feels like you're never with a person. Like it's just kind of like you're just like, Lord, I'm gonna just have to. Here we go again. My person left. Like they're like, who's your primary care? At this point, I don't know. I don't know.
I am so sorry that you're having that experience. I think I've been lucky enough to have our primary care be before I moved out here, Black woman that I've been with for years. Skylar's 11. I've been with her since when I moved to the DC area, and that was 2000. I've been her since we were with her from like 2007 because I was working at the patent and trademark office, and I was like, I really want a Black woman doctor. And in fact, I don't even know if I said Black woman doctor, but I was like, I'm looking for a doctor. And this woman I know, she's like, I know I got somebody, and she's a Black woman doctor, and she's right, and it was like right around the corner. Perfect. And we went to her for years. 20. That lady didn't see all my kids grow up. And she still looks young. So I'm like, I believe in her. But now that I'm here and we're established, and it's a bigger city, and we're establishing care. It's interesting how the different systems work too. So I mean, but the doctor that we have, I really like her a lot. She's really cool. So I'm hoping she don't go nowhere. But to your point, if I hadn't found her,
yeah,
I remember. Oh no, now we're getting deep. We listen, whatever. I remember getting a pap smear from a man, and this is not me saying men can't do pap smears. But I remember it was the worst experience of my entire life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the woman. I was like, oh, I'm going to try. My insurance is designating this other person as my primary care. Let me use that because insurance, yada, yada, yada. Then I was like, I had to call my insurance to change it. Because I wanted my doctor, she didn't use my chart. But I like my chart because you get to keep everything in one place. Mm-hmm. And I could go back and pull records from like years ago having a surgery or something, right? Yeah. But she wasn't into my chart system. She's like an independent practice, right? And they didn't buy into it. So I wanted to go into the my chart system. So I said, well, let me go use this primary care that's on my insurance that I can use as well. And I'll just go with that. Worst experience. Even me trying to like lose weight. And I was like, oh, I want to, the lady that I had, child, let me just say, it was not the best experience. So I don't want to attribute that to my chart itself, but I think sometimes in the bigger practices, you run into getting lost in the number.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. That becomes a challenge, and also the impact that it has across your life is so substantial. Right. And, and like a lot of times it's like, but you're going to the doctor and you're getting care. But I can remember like having, when I was going through all this joint pain, like not feeling like I was being the best mom, you know what I mean? Like, because I couldn't, I wasn't keeping up with my son, like my legs and my body hurt so bad that I wanted to just lay. Right. I didn't feel like I was being the best entrepreneur, right? Like I wasn't really in my business the way that I wanted to be because I was in so much joint pain, right? Like I do have low iron, and I had gone into having to get infusions at one point, right? So that I could get my iron levels up. That impact, when your iron's low, your energy is low. And so and then you're depressed, right? Because it's just like, something's wrong with me. My energy is so low. I'm not keeping up with my stuff. And now I'm depressed. And, and it, not that it was like, and you only needed to get an infusion. Like an infusion is a big thing, but it was like that infusion really helped. Like I was like, woo, okay. And now I can be back to my normal self. But I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have not gotten a follow-up from that. Like, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, that's how,
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, it is like wild. So like now I'm just kind of like, hey, hey guys, Do I reach out to you, or are you supposed to reach out to me? Like, what is happening? And then, like, you're in a system, like, God forbid you have this horrible referral situation when it comes to your insurance, right? So you got to get a referral to get a referral. Like, I need to get a referral from my primary care to the next doctor. But if you don't get it in and you don't go in enough time, you got to go back and get another referral. Lord, by the time, that's all I'm gonna say on me. Like,
Yeah, if you're just joining us, this is the 30-day show, BGV edition, and I have a puppy in the background. If you can hear that, just ignore it. But we had this morning we had a registered nurse come on, Tiana Trinidad, and we were talking about PCOS and we're talking about fertility, but we're also just talking about health, like women's health, women's bodies, health in general, and really talking through just like the experience of it all. And I know we're not alone, right? We talking to people right now. You know, if you're watching this, you watch the replay of this, and we know that some of the things that we're talking about, you're literally dealing with, or your family members are dealing with. And this idea of like insurance really not being enough, doctors not doing enough, and just trying to have a healthcare experience within a healthcare system that really understands how to systematically take care of us. And I think like, I don't want to throw sweeping generalizations across the medical industry because we just both shared different experiences that we're having, right? Like you're having one experience, I'm having a different experience. There's some ways where we're having similar experiences. And we're just realizing that like there's still so much work to be done. So if you have like advocacy orgs, we need you. If you have like if you're out here like Tiana, she's starting a fertility training. If you focus on that, we need you. Like we need people who are in the medical system, studied, and outside of the medical system, studied. But I really love the intuition thing. And one, you're advocating for yourself. On top of all of that, you got to go advocate for yourself. On top of you dealing with run a business, trying to do these other parts, you got to be the one to remember to follow up on something that the doctor prescribed you.
yeah. And then you're not only, and then too, like, we're moms, right? So you're not, and we have minor children, right? And so, we're also following up on what needs to happen for our minor children, right? And I know, all moms and dads out here, our parents, it's that time of year again where our children are going for annual physicals before school, like before school starts again. If they want to play a sport, they have to get their physicals, making sure they're at the dentist, you know what I'm saying, like just doing all the things. So it's not just you focusing on your care, it's also you focusing on the care of your minor children. And sometimes my older daughters, like, I'm sending them and I'm reminding them of, make sure you go and get, this. Did you go to the dentist this year? Just trying to, but then we have aging parents, right? And so that's a whole nother feat within itself when you're managing, your healthcare, your children, and then you have an aging parent who,
is acting like a kid too.
On me,
Listen, and I've been saying to myself, I do not want to be like this. I just want to be I gotta be aware of my aging because I'm realizing that what I'm dealing with my dad, I do not want to be this way for my children, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be stubborn about trying to heal myself. I don't want to be stubborn about going to the doctor. I don't want them to have extra worry because I'm not listening to what the doctor's saying. I don't want I'm not following what the doctor's giving me. I'm not. And it's like, and I don't want to rather take medicine than actually do the things that could actually heal myself. Lazy is a thing, but then as you get older, there's something else that's not in the line of lazy. It's just like a setting in place of like whatever you want to do and don't want to do. And it's like stubbornness. And that you've been on the planet for 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, and you ain't got but so many more summers left. Sometimes you just be in fuck it mode. I really think that'd be it.
Listen, the way that I be fighting with my mama, and I call her Mama Thunder, baby. That woman give me the blues, baby. I had to start going to the doctors with her. Like, so now her doctor's appointments are on my calendar too. So if as we think about, and I know this is whether you're in corporate America, whether you have a regular, not a regular, but if you're working a 9 to 5, you're in your career, or you're an entrepreneur, no matter where you are on the spectrum, having these types of things impacts your ability to show up as your most amazing self, right? So not only your health and trying to manage those, but the health of the people that you love, and as you transition into caregiver in another way with your aging parent, right? Now it's not only just my doctor's appointments and my son's doctor's appointments, it's mine, it's his, it's hers. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm just kind of like, okay, now I got to go to the doctor with you. And speaking specifically as an entrepreneur, right? Who's somebody who manages their, like their own, like, I'm the boss, I get to say. Also, that impacts what I'm able to do, right? So it does impact, what contracts I'm able to take or what travel I'm able to do, right? How I'm able to show up in different ways, how my mental, like, because we do need a level, like you're saying, all the things that you're carrying on me in your business, right? And all of the people. And if you do have a team, you still are carrying that. And so, like, I'm in the doctor's office with my mother on the phone, taking notes, like in meetings, on a drive, and you're so fractured in your mind that it becomes overwhelming and you feel like you're not doing a good job. And it's because I'm fractured. Like, I'm literally in the middle of a doctor's appointment. I'm taking a business call because you couldn't get out of the contract meeting that you had. It's just like, what in the world?
And I just, and so, and my dad is on a whole nother coast. Right. So I'm trying to manage that from afar. And we just had a conversation yesterday. And here's another thing that you have to come through when you're becoming a caretaker at this age. Your parents getting older, you're getting older, you're realizing like you got to step in more than you used to. I had to just keep it 100 with him. I said, look, I can be as present as I can for you based off of what I'm seeing that you actually desire, right? And what I'm saying is, like, if you have the desire to figure out your food habits, manage your sugar well, get some extra exercise in, if we got to figure out a food service delivery, something like that, I'm here for that. If you like, I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm just gonna, if you want to stop drinking, stop smoking. But if you don't want to do any of that, if you just like, hey, I'm just gonna take medicine, I am here to just try to manage whatever the doctors are saying, push back on what I feel like I can push back on. But I just got to be here for that, because I think I was getting so caught up in like, don't you want to be better? Like, so why don't you just stop smoking? Like, if smoking is causing your blood vessels to constrict, and this could possibly be affecting you having neuropathy, don't you just want to stop? If you have diabetes and you know that you're not eating well, and this is causing different kinds of flare-ups in different ways, don't you just want to eat better? And it's like, and I'm trying to be mindful of that for myself, because I'm looking at him and I'm able to project it. But am I doing it?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, I don't have any things that I'm dealing with like that. But I'm just saying that I'm looking at him being like, yeah, because it's diabetes. Because, well, neuropathy, you get that most of the time because it's related to diabetes. Right. You get, like, diabetes has so many branches. It's just so crazy. Like, diabetes has so many branches of things that it's wild, the level of things you can get just by having this one thing.
Yeah.
The level of things that it does to every part of your body by having this one thing. And so I'm like, can we manage that? And can we manage it by stopping the drinking, stopping the smoking, actually park a little further, walk a little further, like, please. Right. But I spent years doing that. Please. Can you just please? You know what I mean? And then but now I've had to get to a point in my own self, in my own body, to go, let me not try to change you,
Mm-hmm.
but let me
Mm-hmm.
just try to be present. And that
Yeah,
is hard
it is.
because you're watching your parent essentially pass away in a sense, right? Right? A long drawn out passing away, and you want to impact that. You want to don't do that. Hey, just stop this part and we could prolong life a little bit more if you just stop this part.
And it's so hard because these things become addictions on me. Like that's the thing. Like because I know I'm big on like I have and like we don't think about them because when we think about addiction, we think about, drug addiction, alcohol addiction. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I'm not addicted to anything. I am addicted to sugar. You know what I mean? Like that is an addiction. Like, and it's like and some of these things have become comforting to us, right? Like we have our comfort foods and our, things that like, oh my goodness, girl, I got to get my coffee because it just calms my nerves, or I gotta do my thing. Like, and people laugh at me all the time. I'm a Baltimore girl, and I'd be like, girl, let me get my chicken box. You know what I mean? And we laugh and we joke about it, but the level, hey, the sodium, the grease, and it's like I had to start pulling back, like, wait a minute now. Like that has become almost like a comforting thing for you, or like I'm stressed, so girl, let me just go ahead and eat something real quick. And it's just like, is that helping you or is it hurting you? And it is a lot of I appreciate what Tiana said about trying to figure out how to manage your stress, right? And we don't even know sometimes that we're stressed, so much as like, girl, woo, it was a day, right? And I'm just kind of like, okay, now what kind of day was it? I journal. Only I'm sure you do too. Like I journal. And so I have to remind myself to go back and read it. Like, cause I wasn't rereading it, but like just to pick up patterns. Like when when you're sad or when you're upset and what did you do and how did you handle it? And, so it's a lot.
No, it is a lot. And I think that what we're speaking to is something that most people are dealing with. And when we talk about marketing and we talk about culturally relevant marketing, the marketing is geared toward, of course, they want you to buy it. So it's everything that makes you feel good about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether it's hurting you or not, it's everything that makes you feel good about it. And then, it's interesting with I wonder, what if they started marketing food the way they market these drugs, right? Where they're like, oh, like, the person is like galloping through the fields and they're like, yeah, and this and skincare can actually help you clear up all of your acne. And then the person's I don't know what this got to do with gallivanting through the fields. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, your skin will be clear, you will be brighter. And then side effects include boo, 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 boo. Like, what if they did that with like fried chicken? What if Popeyes like, love that chicken for Popeyes? Oh yeah, and by the way, you might get diabetes. You might, you
Popeye's
know what I
chicken
mean?
can
You might.
cause diabetes, high blood pressure, so does that.
What if they did that? That would be wild. What if that's the way they started marketing? Like, it'd be like, oh, McDonald's and the little kids like getting a little Happy Meal and they're happy and they're sitting down. It's like side effects of eating McDonald's food too often will cause you to have stopped up arteries. And you're like, you know what I mean? Like that would be wild though. I think, to be honest with you, I feel like that world is actually not too far fetched. Like somebody advocating and getting the right like political administration in office, where even if they didn't have to say it on a commercial, but it had to be like on the bag or like at the bottom of the drive-through, we're not too far from a world that markets that way. I think because people are starting to everything is starting to just become way more conscious. So they're like, let's put it in front of you, and if you do it, then that's on you. It's kind of crazy. Speaking of marketing, our next guest that I want to bring up, last guest for the show today, Lionel Ball is the co-founder of Inflect Digital, a cultural-driven growth agency that helps brands translate cultural relevance into measurable business outcomes. So we were talking about marketing earlier today, and then we got to talking about health, and now we back to talking about marketing, and somehow it's all connected because that's just how the shows go. Come to the stage, Lionel. Welcome. How you feeling?
Feeling well. How about yourself?
Now, sir, where are you at? Now you knew you had to be on this morning. You knew you had to be on this morning.
Having a
And
good
you
time.
over there you at brunch. We
Hold on
can't
one
hear
second.
you. You are breaking like
You can hear my
it's
background or
super
something?
loud. It's super loud.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Lana over there partying.
Listen,
It's
he
Friday
said, "I'm a
morning.
hey by any way, any means necessary. I'm going to show up on this show, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it." But
Yeah.
one of the things too, like because we were talking about the intersection between marketing and healthcare, and it is like a big like marketing in healthcare is huge. Like it is huge. The things that they market, like the ways we market prescription drugs and healthcare in the United States is illegal in other countries. Like you cannot do this in other countries, right? Like when I was going to, and just to bring it up on me, when I was going to South Korea, we could not bring Benadryl. Like you had
Mm.
to have a letter from your doctor if you needed to take Benadryl. You had to like you can't just be taking Benadryl. Like what is wrong
Mm.
with you? You can't like what is going on here? That's not like melatonin. You can't just like what are you but this is like for us it's over the counter, it's readily accessible, and it's marketed on our televisions, you know what I'm saying? Z-Quil, you know what I'm saying? Benadryl, ashwagandha, like and it's like we're getting it all, but it's just like, and we're getting the doctors say is proven to,
Yes.
you know what I mean, that sort of thing.
Number one dentist approved.
And
Child.
so people are really thinking, right, that this is, helping, like going to help them and benefit their body in some way. And sometimes it's not.
I think that's right. And we're gonna try Lionel one more time. Let's see what he got.
Okay. He's still
Lionel,
calling.
you
He's still
still
calling.
sounding like you at the party. You at the club. We don't know. Say something. Let's see if we can hear you. All we hear is music. And I don't know how you switched your background because you was in the club. Now you in the
He went
parking lot.
outside. He outside the club.
I don't know. He AI'd us. Is this the real him?
That's him.
We don't know. Hold up your fingers.
Yep, it's him.
Gotta,
It's him. It's him.
it's him. It's him. But I don't know. Maybe your headphones are not connecting to something because we cannot hear you at all.
No, we can't hear you.
Mm-mm.
We still
We
hear
can
the
hear the
club.
background noise, but we can't hear you.
You're still in the club.
You done left. I don't know. You left your laptop in the club and you're outside. I don't know.
Are you connected to the club audio?
That's right. Are you connected to the DJ booth? What's happening?
I need to know where he is that they partying this early in the
This
morning.
early in the morning, and you in Arizona, right? And it's 7 a.m. Why they got so much music going? What?
Listen, this is a party.
Well, we wish we knew what you were saying, but we don't. So I'm at.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm at to remove you because I don't know what you. I can't. We don't know. We can't. We didn't. Reading lips wasn't our skill. That wasn't the one that we got. Ah man. Next time though, I guess. Oh wait. Okay. Say something now. Nope.
No, we still in the
It
club.
literally sounds like the computer is in the restaurant and
You outside.
and you're outside. You're outside.
You're in the club.
Like we can hear them making milkshakes and everything. That sounds like somebody's making a milkshake
I've
right there.
never seen anything
You hear
like
that?
this.
They was stirring something up. It was a machine stirring
And
something
I'm
up.
angry because I'm hungry.
See what I'm saying? Listen, we don't know what's going on with Lionel, his audio.
He said,
But
I'm
he's a
in
great
the
guy.
club. I am in the club.
In the morning.
Listen.
It's
and
7:16 a.m. out
I'm
here.
not mad at it. Omi, let me try to tell you something. And we're going to giggle about this because we might as well just giggle, right? Because
Okay, tell
last
me.
night I went out to get me and Jay something. No. Look. No. You got too excited. That's not what it is.
I was like, you went out.
I know, no, on me,
Okay.
I ain't going no out. I want to give me a day
That's
something
why
to
I was
eat.
getting excited. Because
I
I'm like, what?
know, but I ain't going outside. That's 2 minutes.
Okay.
But I went
Okay.
outside, girl, and I was to get me and James something to eat. And when I tell you outside was outsiding,
On the
like
Thursday, it's getting hot.
it's getting hot.
My grandma used to say, it's getting hot outside. Niggas start coming out the woodwork.
Let me try to tell you, it was, and I'm gonna say
Niggas start
it.
coming out the woodwork.
It was like suns out, buns out. It was booty cheek. I mean, it was. I was like, whoa, this is yes. And it was really all of that was happening. And so I was really like sitting back in the car and I was just watching and having a great time, people watching and enjoying people having a good time. Like they were just outside having fun. You know what I mean? They were being loud, all of the things, right? And it brought to mind, and I made a post about it, it brought to mind how hard we are on our young people who are out here just trying to have fun. Right, and how negative we can get around, and it brought us back to the conversation we were having yesterday, with Braxton, and then just really like how hard we are on young people who are outside just trying to have a good time, like they just want to have fun. And how did we forget the fun that we had? Like how did we
forget the fun
that we had? Like how did we forget? Like, because I know, baby, I'm so grateful we didn't have phones and social media.
Ooh, child.
Ooh,
it's been a whole nother situation if we have phones. So yeah, no, I'm grateful too. Because we was outside back then was really being outside too. Because you didn't have phones like that. I mean, like it's something we had, but you had to press all the buttons to be texting and all that. So like we weren't like scrolling no social and that like that. You was really present outside. I mean, you was present with the outsideness.
Yes.
All the shenanigans that outside brought, you was there. You was right there in them and
right
with them.
In it.
Yeah, you weren't distracted at all.
No, you were immersed. You were a part of it. You were there. And so I just was like, oh my goodness, like how do we I don't condone like negative, and we get it a lot, especially as the summertime comes and our young people are out of school, and I know it's happening throughout our cities where young people might get into a little trouble or like that sort of thing. But when do we just make it okay for young people to just have fun? Like just enjoy being young, just enjoy having Megan Thee Stallion knees. Like these, like when I tell you they had Megan Thee Stallion knees on me, I was out there like my knees won't do that on a good day. Like, listen, I said, you better go ahead and give me some Megan Thee Stallion knees. But like, I don't condone negative behavior and hurting people. And, that's not what we're saying. But I just wish that sometimes as we navigate, our grown-up-ness, that we just take a moment to remember the times where we were young and it was fun and you just were outside, and sometimes fun is loud. And sometimes fun is not what we, like I wouldn't necessarily have my fun like that, but it's just kind of like they not hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to enjoy youth. And baby, last night they was enjoying it on me.
You know what came to mind for me?
What happened?
Do you remember the time when we fell in love? You remember the time when we first met? Girl, remember the time? Okay. Because I can't, you know what I mean? A song will pop into my head, a song, a movie line, any of that, what my grandma said. But it is, you're right. Like, when do we become such prudes? Like, when do we become such, I just, don't do that outside. Like, I don't know. I just think, even when it comes to like the bonnet conversation, sometimes I get like a little bit annoyed with that too. Like people wearing they got their bonnet outside. And, oh my God, why would she do that? And I'm like, I don't feel like it's a reflection on me if she got her bonnet on outside. I feel like that's a reflection on whatever she want to be looking like or whatever space she decided to show up in. And she's trying to protect that $100,000 wig she got on. You know what I'm saying? So like, I respect it because I'm like, girl, If I would have paid $500 for my wig, I'd be maybe I have a bonnet on too.
But
Okay,
you know
so
what, too? I think that is a broader conversation, right? Especially as around Black women and how we are. When you see a Black woman, it's almost like I'm required to be every Black woman. Like I am a representation of every Black woman, and that is not true. Like it's not like, and it's just like, but we're held to that standard not only by other people but by in our own communities, right? And that's when we get the backlash, because in reality I see other cultures showing up in the airports and around, you know what I'm saying, in their pajamas, you know what I'm saying, in barefoot, you know what I'm saying, like doing all kinds of things that I'm like, woo. But that is not a representation of all Caucasian women, all Asian women, you know what I'm saying, all Hispanic women. It's just that woman decided that is what they decided they wanted to do today. You know, and I think that is a broader conversation around how is it that, a Black woman is responsible to hold up the whole Black
I'm
woman.
tired. I want to put it down. I'm tired. Let me put it down. Let me put down everything y'all gave me to hold. Cause that, I didn't necessarily go pick it up. What y'all gave me to hold it. You see what I'm saying? Like it wasn't all, she was talking earlier, about our guest earlier. She was talking about masculine energy and feminine energy, and having to hold masculine energy for so long that your hormones have actually shifted a bit. And I was like, and I think that's an interesting conversation. I also think that's a broader conversation because people don't even get into energetics for real. People don't always believe in it. So just like I love when she said, we believe in Wi-Fi, but we don't believe in our intuition. And then what people say is like, well, I can see my Wi-Fi working. Well, guess what? When you follow your intuition, guess what you do? You see it working. Okay? Like every time I follow my intuition, I've always been better off. Every time I follow something that I thought was my intuition, I was better off. You know what I mean? Even if I was like, I don't know if this is my intuition or it's me overthinking it. I still was better off either way. It's like if you follow your intuition, you can be better off. You will see your intuition working if you follow it.
Listen, I'm with you. Homie, listen. Baby, I can't even say nothing except for my shirt is on backward. I'm sorry that I was.
Well, yeah, listen, sometime, you was doing your crisscross today. Using your crisscross era. That's all right. You was throwing it back. Don't nobody know you was throwing it back.
Okay, thank you for saving me, friend. Because I was out here and I took my scarf off when I did like this. I said, "Is this a tag? Like that's a tag." Girl.
It's okay. You was on your jump. You was on your jump. Jump.
Well, listen, I'm excited because ELF 2.0 cohort, their pitches go live today. Is live today. I'm so excited for the Detroit cohort of ELF 2.0. They are going live with their pitches today at 6 p.m. on me. I'm so excited. We all in the WhatsApp getting pumped up about.
I love that. So make sure y'all tune in. So that's okay. Thank you, because we got to get these BGV announcements. Today, a virtual pitch goes live 6 p.m. tonight. Make sure you're tuning in across all the BGV socials. You're looking at me right now, likely on some BGV social, unless you're following me. It's okay. If not, go to any of the BGV socials, BGV Foundation on YouTube, Black Girl Ventures on Instagram. Like, we're going to be going live to showcase all over the place. And I think they're going to go live on LinkedIn as well. I need to double check. But go tune in to the pitch competition. Listen to these women. They're wonderful pitches. In fact, I don't want to sway anybody's votes or anything. So I guess I should not say anything. But right now, I'm wearing one of the women. She has these scrubs. And I'm actually wearing them. I don't know if I can let y'all see.
I love it. I love that color. I love that color.
Now that's my dog having a fit in the background. But they're these sporty scrubs that you could wear, that anybody could wear anytime. And I love them. And for years, because I actually met her a few years back, I've been like, girl, I need a pair of them scrubs. So she came to the pitch competition in Chicago. She's from Detroit, but she came to the pitch competition in Chicago on Saturday. She brought me some. And I was like, no, I need a top too. So like, I got to get my top because I got to get my
Yeah.
whole outfit on.
It's
Matter of fact,
definitely
with the level of me not going out every day, I could literally be wearing these scrubs every day, and they are comfortable. They fit well. They're cute. I'm like, I'm here for it. So I'm actually gonna go buy me some. Now that I got these because I'm like,
listen,
I really feel good in them.
me, you, and everybody else that watches the pitch competition, and it's going to be amazing. The businesses that you are going to see and hear and learn about and have the opportunity to support is, I mean, phenomenal. Everything from AI and tech and voting and scrubs and events and healthcare. I mean, and everything in between. These amazing founders are
100%. Another piece. So we have some intern. We have if you go to BGV, let me put the link up. I'm gonna put this up because we've got a couple things going on. I want to make sure. Yeah, bit.ly/BGV links. It has the links to everything. The first link in the list will be the pitch competition that's happening tonight. Also, we have an internship open where we're taking people who want to be the founder, like the actual companies, and we're taking people who want to engage in the internships. We have both of those. The next pull up and pitch will be New York. It's going to be July 18th. Also, the Futures We Build Summit. So I can tell y'all a little bit about the summit here that everybody else don't know. I am actively working with my team to put together an interactive experience. I don't want the average summit. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. So if you go to the BGV links, you can see the Futures We Build Summit. You can click on it. And it listed as September the 9th through the 12th, but I want to be clear about the days. September the 10th is the full summit day. September the 11th is a wellness day. And September the 12th is our typical pull up and pitch day. So I want to just be clear. I know it sounds like a long time for people to come in, but it's like, no, it's worth it for you to fly in. We got a hotel block, so you can tap into that. They got you a discounted rate at the Westin. I spent yesterday programming out the summit. I wonder if I should tell y'all there, just wait till Monday. But programming out the summit, because I said, I don't want this to be you just came to a summit and you get your like you sit and people talk at you all day. I'm so over those kinds of conference experiences. And I've been to gotta be 100 of them. I'm over it. Don't get me wrong. I don't know shade to nobody's conference. I'm just saying, having the opportunity to do my own summit, I decided I want to do something different. So you're going to get some storyteller performances. You're going to get, I am actively working on having a debate team come and debate for and against AI. I'm actively working on, can't tell y'all the name yet, but I'm actively working on a build your AI team session that will be in the main room, not a breakout session. But everybody charge your laptops up, bring them in. We're going to bring in a well-known influencer to walk you through building your AI team in the moment. Because me and Taki have talked about it several times that like you be sitting there, you watch the good video of the person doing it. You're like, I have no idea how to do that myself. So we're going to have my goal, and I'll have this all solidified on Monday, is a influencer that we love and that y'all trust and that we all trust because she's great. Come in and walk us through it step by step. Like, everybody bring your laptops in the room. Come on, everybody sit down. Get your laptop out. Let's build this team now. You're like, we ain't gonna wait. Let's build this AI team right now. And so make sure y'all come. Y'all, there's gonna be that. And then I'm putting up a interactive panel, Ask a VC. So I reached out to some dear VC friends of mine in the DMV to be like, look, open up the floor with me. And let's just have the audience ask whatever they want about funding. Whatever they want, right? Like, what are y'all struggling with? Let's get to it. Like, I want people to walk away from the Futures We Build conference feeling like they understand the future we about to build. We're working on having an economist come in to talk about trends, studied trends of what's happening in society and what businesses should be thinking about for the future. It's like, I want this to be tangible. I want it to be practical. I wanted you to be talked to and with. We're going to have a marketplace, and we're going to allow time for that. Because I think like what happens is that you go to these summits and you're like, I really want to network, but you never have time to network. And I'm going to have a special VIP in my suite. So if you get a VIP ticket, I'm going to have a special VIP gathering in my suite. So you can buy into that, but that's also on the website. So futureswebuildsummit.com. Also, if you go to the bit.ly/BGV links, you can get in there. You can find all the things that we're doing. The pitch competition that goes live tonight, make sure you got to tune in. New York Pull 'em a Pitch will be happening July 18th. Pull up, shoot your shot, get you some money. The Futures We Build Summit is happening in September. Y'all don't want to miss all these things. We got a network, internship opportunities. Like, go and activate. Also, donate to BGV. If you love what we're doing, you want to see us around, like, don't wait until I got to give y'all the news that because of this administration, if that day had to come, don't wait to that day and be like, well, dang, I wish they would have told me they needed some money. No, I'm telling you today, we need money. So donate to BGV, and you can support BGV in multiple ways too. That's the thing. You can straight up donate, or you can donate to one of the pitch participants, or you can buy a ticket to the summit. Like, all of these are in support of BGV's efforts. Every one of them, right? So if you're like, I would donate, but you don't got to just do it one way. We got multiple ways for you to participate. So donate, participate, bit.ly BGV links. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. Another one. We are 15 days in, y'all. So the 30-day show, we are exactly at the halfway mark. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked in. We'll be back on Monday. All right. Have a good. Oh shoot, I gotta talk to you about Monday. I'm gonna send you a note.
All right, send me a note.
Cause I gotta leave early because I gotta go to a class. But
okay.
I'll see you a note. Okay, so I just was like, All right, y'all keep it locked. Yeah, don't keep it locked right here because ain't nobody coming in. But I'm saying have a good rest of y'all day. Have a great weekend. We appreciate y'all. All right, Takia, I'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
All right. Bye.